With this low, and you inserted the exhibition game, and then a Coppin State team that's coming in here struggling. What do you try to get out of your team during this kind of 2-week period?
We just keep trying to get better. We had a really good practice yesterday, but we watched about 30 minutes of film in there on how bad we were on Saturday, because we were bad on Saturday defensively, and you know, it's one thing to somebody telling you about it, it's another thing for you to see it. I mean, you can see it, and we can stop it and run it back and stop it again, and so they were good yesterday. They were I thought really into getting better.
So is that the defense then? Is it kind of what you're driving?
No, we
point,
did
I
some.
guess?
No, we did offense too, but we got to get our pressure straightened out, and we got to continue to work at the 1-3-1.
Coppin State, what jumps to your mind when you hear the words Coppin State?
Billy scheduled the game. That's the first thing jumps in my mind. Dixon. You know, they have played people tough. They gave Connecticut all they could handle at UConn. You know, it's a matter of if you can make enough shots, because you know, they're not going to get, hopefully anyways, inside what other people are going to get.
But when we talk about defensive issues, is it they don't understand where to go, or effort? Where is it lacking at this point you want to see them improve?
Our effort wasn't very good. They know what they're supposed to do. It's a matter of them doing it. You know, that ball mesmerizes people. So you have a tendency to stand and watch the ball and not go where you're supposed to go.
You said you thought you knew what the problem was with the press.
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
Well, ball pressure is a wonderful thing when it comes to defense. If you got pressure on the ball, people don't stand and look around. They worry about unloading it as fast as they can unload it. And our traps weren't very good. Our on-the-ball pressure wasn't very good. We weren't where we're supposed to be, help side, so that the court looked bigger. Instead of shrinking it, we made it bigger. It was a lot of different things.
What was it that convinced you, as you matured, the importance of defense? Especially, maybe to the point that it's even more important than offense.
I mean, I think it goes back to high school, Bob. You know, I watched my dad win with inferior talent that really guarded. His teams were, I mean, they were okay offensively, but they were great defensively. And you know, growing up where I grew up not far down the road from where, you know, Coach Knight's from. So you watch that. And when I went to Walsh, I went over to Indiana, you know, several times to go listen to Coach Knight. I just think defense travels. Offense doesn't travel sometimes. You know that you could have much more success being consistent defensively than you can offensively. Now, that doesn't mean that offense isn't important. It doesn't mean that, I mean, hell, I like to see it go through the basket as much as anybody, but it's hard to be as consistent on that end of the floor.
Is it fair to say that you can teach defense more than you can teach offense, as far as offense requires certain skills that you...
It takes a lot more skill, and there's so much more involved in offense than what people realize. You know, setting good screens, which people don't really pay attention to. Not taking the ball out of your hands by setting screens. Being able to use screens. Being able to pass the ball. You know, we call timeout, and I got great assistants with a lot of experience, and they're like, we need to do this and this, and I'm like, okay, fine. Tell me who's going to pass the ball. You know, and it's kind of like when I had Deshaun. You know, I wanted Deshaun to pass it to Deshaun.
Yeah.
But you can't do that, you know. And you got to figure out how to get people out of the way. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, everything comes down to everybody's trying to create an isolation in one sense or another. And really, it's a numbers game. We're trying to, why do you ball screen? You try to ball screen to get a 2-on-1. You know, or a 4-on-5 or a 3-on-4. All comes down to numbers. The team that can control the numbers for the most part is a team that is successful.